Hey guys, here we go into rounds 4 and 5, maybe 6 as well. We'll see how I feel after the 2 rounds. But so far, it looked like Breidis won the first 2 rounds for sure. He probably won the 3rd round as well, but the 3rd round was much closer than rounds 1 and 2. And most of it was won off of his timing of Usyk stepping on the lead foot. So now we're going to kind of get to see what adjustments Usyk makes and where he goes, and how that's going to play a part in his fight with Gassiev. And now I haven't actually watched these rounds before, so it's going to be all new for me as well. Flashing the lead hand, probing, going to the body with the left hand. Back in his boxing style, control with the lead hand again. Even though he had been getting timed with it before, now that he's got Breidis touching gloves with him, he's able to shoot his jab and control him better. Again, moving in on that same timing when he shoots the jab. I'm not sure if he lands that left hand, but Breidis looking to time him when he steps in. Breidis looking to time him on the jab again. A little late with that one because he wasn't stepping with it, but he sees that jab coming and steps in with his own jab to time him. And now I don't think that that's something that Gassiev is going to be able to do, but we'll have to see. I'm going to go back and look at some of the film of Gassiev-Lebedev to see, because this is actually like a really great fight. And there are seeming to be like a lot of holes in Usyk that I just haven't seen before. Probe, control him, shoots that straight left hand or right hand, but he commits to it. Usyk easily gets out of the way of it, but he stays on the line and winds up eating that shot instead of moving off the line. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Anyway, moving on. Probes, moves off the line with some head movement. Probe, moves off the line with some head movement. What is he setting up there? Good job right there, slipping the shot, moving off the line. Breidis does a good job of controlling him as well to make sure there's no counter to that slip. Breidis looking to time him and control him. As soon as he sticks a lead hand out there, he eats a jab. Mairis Breidis decides to go first. Probing right hand. Left hook comes. Kind of a clobbering shot. Not the greatest setup, or not the greatest landed, but well set up. Let's see. Usyk steps, doesn't shoot the jab, and then, oh, he throws a right hook instead. I'm not sure if it lands, though. Can't really tell, but a great adjustment right there. Instead of stepping with the jab, it looks like he throws a right hook. I'm not sure. We'll have to see it in if he uses any more adjustments and where he goes with that timing, but stepping with it and throwing different punches. Good job right there. Breidis commits to transitioning his weight to his left leg, and Usyk slips it as if it was a straight right hand, and it's basically the same motion. And now from this position, Breidis has 2 opportunities, right? He can throw a left hook, or he can follow his hips where they were going, and he doesn't do either and kind of gets stuck right there for a second, eats that body shot, and then follows his hips to the left side. But Usyk doing a good job. There you go, Usyk, making an adjustment and stopping him from just straight up countering him by using a probing left hand instead of using that very easy to time jab. Then he does shoot the jab, kind of gets caught with that right hand, and then slams his own left hand to the body. So interesting that he comes in with the head movement on the jab, expecting a counter there, but Breidis kind of cuffs him with that right hook. And then he goes to the body. So I wonder if he's attempting to use a catch and counter style. My video is not working all of a sudden. Whoops. Yeah, Usyk still getting timed, right? Slipping, going to the body, and then going to the body himself. But he missed his shot. And I'm still not sold, actually, whether Usyk is winning this round or not. but it looks like he's kind of losing pretty bad. Stepping with that shot again, getting pieced up on that timing. I'm not sure why he hasn't made an adjustment. Breidis just kind of mauling him now. I wonder if that's going to be a tactic that works very well for Gassiev as well. Gets him to stay in the high guard, no counter, feinting him. And it's interesting too because all the feinting, right, it doesn't really work when you're out of position. And Victor Ortiz found this out against Devin Alexander, trying to feint and probe and do all that stuff. And then he would come in and he would step with his punches. And Devin Alexander was able to time him and dominate him all night because he wasn't able to get him out of position when he was out of range. And I think that Usyk is kind of having a similar problem at the moment. Not a problem that I think he's used to having as well. Great straight left hand right there, though. Boom. Bam. And again, getting timed on that jab, coming forward. Breidis able to control him. When Breidis goes first, he starts eating punches. Doesn't eat any there, but you can see that he's clearly not the superior fighter in that regard. Again, when he goes first, boom, eats a counter, doesn't get anything going. So we can tell that Usyk is the superior fighter. Like, that's obvious. But he's not winning the exchanges because of how often he puts himself out of position to go first, getting countered on that stepping with his timing of his jab. And again, boom, right there. And how little adjustments he's actually making. Boom, trying to time him right there. Bop, bop. Bop. And then expecting a right hand to come and kind of touching him. Again, Usyk stepping forward with the jab and Breidis coming in to counter him. Maybe Breidis, the reason that Breidis is kind of losing momentum at the moment is because he's kind of slowing down. Maybe he's used a lot of energy committing to all those shots. No real offense landed there. What is he complaining about? Oh, there's a punch on the belt line. Good job right there, moving off the line, catching him with the shot. Really interesting because this round is over, and I still can't say that Usyk won the round, which means that he might be 4 rounds down right now because of that timing. So I wonder how much protest there was, or if Usyk just really picks it up in the end of the fight. If Usyk really picks it up at the end of the fight to really clearly win these rounds, because so far I can see a world in which Breidis Prescott has won every round. Again, on that same timing, boom, getting timed on his jab. And I'm not sure why Usyk hasn't made an adjustment to those timings and start feinting and then landing his own counters off of them. I'm not sure. Slips that shot, walks into the next one. Usyk doing a good job of countering while he's moving off the line. I think he eats that right hook, though. But that's neither here nor there. Again, getting timed on that jab. And then Breidis able to just kind of walk forward, and make him pay for all of this. Steps with that jab, and Breidis commits to some offense. Breidis winds up getting countered too, but lands that body shot, lands that right hook, and then eats a left uppercut. So wins that exchange as well. Not a bad job right there. Getting Breidis to go first again, countering him. This is actually going to be a much more interesting fight than I thought it was with him and Gassiev, because we're going to have to see which Usyk shows up. You know, is it going to be the one that... Great job right here, by the way. Does he even land that shot or no? Comes forward, boom. Waits for that layer to break, bam, and then comes back with his own counter left hand. And just misses. Hits him in the chest. But is it going to be the Usyk that boxes and waits for his opponent to come to him? Because if that's the case, I think he absolutely beats the crap out of Gassiev. But if he moves forward like he's doing against Breidis and winds up falling onto that timing... Oh, interesting. Okay, so Usyk has stopped using his lead hand now, and that's what I missed so far. He's not using his lead hand to box anymore and come forward. He's just stepping forward and putting pressure on Breidis and waiting for Breidis to put himself out of position by committing to his own punches. And again, stepping forward, Breidis looks to counter or control him and eats a body shot. Steps forward, those punches are coming, and again, slipping the left hand or the right hand. Whoops, my video's stuck again. Walks into that shot, boom, and then comes back with his own counters. But again, Usyk very good once he gets his opponent to go first, or he's able to break his opponent's layers. Great job right there defensively, moving off the line. No punches landed for Breidis right there. He commits first, comes forward, slips that shot, kind of touches him with the left hand. Gosh darn it. And then goes to the body here. But using his head movement now, instead of using... what am I saying? Instead of using his jab to come forward, he's just coming forward and allowing Breidis to go first because he knows that he has the advantage because Breidis was timing him so well on the jab. A brilliant move from Usyk. Whoops. Feints forward. Boom. Misses all those shots, but that's neither here nor there. And again, as soon as Usyk goes back to his jab, starts eating punches. Boom, from the catch and counter style and the stepping timing. Beautiful right there. And then comes in with the head movement and the straight left hand. Boom. But now he's starting to time him and use that timing to his advantage. As you see, he doesn't step hard with that jab. He's basically stepping with his left hand and just using the jab to get his opponent out of position. I wonder why it took him so long to get him to do that, though. Kind of gets clobbered with that, lands a body shot. Man, what a tough fight for Usyk. Again, Breidis goes first, shoots that jab, he slips it, and then comes back with the body shot. No, he goes to the head, and it gets blocked. But a great adjustment from him. Again, beautiful work from Usyk, you guys. Beautiful. Just puts the pressure on him, and then makes him go first, commits to his first weight transfer, and then boom, pieces him up. Great adjustment from Usyk, you guys. That's a great adjustment. We're going to do one more round and see if that continues and see if Breidis can make any adjustments because I think that he maybe clearly won the first 4 rounds. You know, maybe Usyk won the 3rd round, but I know for sure he lost 1, 2, and 4. But I didn't really score the 4th round at all. Catches that shot. Boom. Wait, no. Here we go. And then the uppercut lands. Bam. Boom. Bam. But really interesting. Coming forward in the high guard. Not using his lead hand as much anymore. Feinting and probing with it. And then as soon as he starts committing to it, Breidis sits down and catches him with the straight right hand. I'm not sure if it lands. It looked like it landed from that angle, but it might not land. Good job moving off the line there. Great job right there. That was really cute. You guys see that? Slipping to the outside. Slip to the outside. Slip to the outside as Breidis is coming forward, and then breaks the rhythm of the layers that he's trying to establish with the jab. Really cute. Does he shoot a double left hand? It looks like he does. Boom. Yeah, he shoots a double left hand. Interesting. So, whoops. Shoots that jab. Catches the straight left and then goes to the body. That'll be really interesting. Again, Usyk just coming forward. Ooh. Steps forward with his jab again, and as soon as he uses his jab again to step forward, Breidis is able to counter him. Breidis tries to move off the line, but winds up getting kind of pieced off a little bit. And this is the reason that this happens, you guys, is because he's not controlling him. Look at, oh, he's controlling him a little bit, but look at how he brings his hands back, and he stops, and that allows Usyk to get his rotation on and throw those punches. But if he would have just continued controlling his head or his body, he'd have been able to stop him. Again, getting Breidis to go first and countering him with the straight left hand. Good job by Breidis right there. Oh, and Usyk says, yeah, good job, that was good. But he, whoops, come on, why isn't it going back far enough? Feints him, then controls Usyk's arms and controls him. Look at how he flares his elbow all the way up right there to control that hand, and then shoots that uppercut in there. Really clever. And then again, baiting Breidis to go first, getting him to go first, and then coming back with the counters. None of them land right there, but we can clearly see what his new strategy is not to use the lead hand, is just to come forward and get Breidis to go first so that he can use those layers against him. But when Usyk does go back to the jab, he's easy to time because he's stepping with it. Eats a big shot right there and kind of gets thrown over a little bit. You got to get up, though, Usyk, or it looks like a knockdown. Shit, it might have been a knockdown, to be honest. Usyk looked pretty tired and pretty drained after it. Again, really good. Getting Breidis to go first, countering the jab, and then covering up and going to the counters. Sorry, I'm like a little low energy right now, guys. Again, he goes back to the jab and starts getting countered. Steps with it, boom, eats a left hand. Not sure why he's not throwing right there. Maybe he was hurt from those other shots. Breidis catching counters, just eating one with his face to counter to the body. Man, this is just a brutal fight, you guys. To be honest, it's really difficult to break down. But again, getting Breidis to go first and trying to counter him. You know, Usyk doing his best Gassiev impression. Again, slipping the right hand, going to the body. That'll be a huge source of offense for him against Gassiev, I think. Especially because when Gassiev throws it, he moves to his right, which is going to move into the left hand of Usyk. Again, shoots the jab and walks into a counter. Boom. Man, what a brutal round, you guys. And I'm not even sure. I don't even know who won it. But it looks like Breidis is handily winning this. Oh, he does kind of throw him pretty hard. Oh, and he's tripped over his leg too, yeah. But it was a pretty big shot, though. Boom. Anyway, moving on. All right. Final round, kind of, for our film study anyway. And then I'll be doing breakdowns of what I think is going to happen. And I'll start that one on Monday. Yeah, I think Monday. I'll do all the film chopping over the weekend. Probing, controlling, moving backwards. Waiting for Mairis to come in and commit to a shot. Gets him to throw that 1-2 and tries to counter him with the hook. Countering with the straight left. Again, Breidis having a very hard time setting his offense up against Usyk, who's doing a great job. Gets him as soon as he starts controlling him. Boom, counters him to a body. Uh-oh, there you go. Getting Breidis to go first and starts countering him. Great job right there. Shoots the jab, knows the counter is coming, slips it, and then goes to the body. So finally a real adjustment from Usyk, and starting to make Breidis really pay for his offense and his defensive layer, which is countering. Oh, again, he gets him to go first, countering him to the with the kind of a right cross, but I don't like this at all. Boom, allowing him that free body shot, and that was something that was really good for Gassiev. Good control from Breidis right there, if you saw it. Whoops, let's go back 2 more. Not here. But Breidis shoots that jab. He slips it, and then Breidis controls him with his forearm and controls both of Usyk's arms, right? Because Usyk is here, and then stops him from countering, and then gives him another control right there. You know, Breidis is actually a pretty good fighter, you guys. I would love to see him fight Gassiev after Usyk does, win or lose. Boom. Great job from Usyk right there. You know, finally using the information that Breidis has on him to time that jab, gets him to kind of walk into this little uppercut right here. He turns with it very well, but even though Usyk loses that exchange, he's finally starting to use the information to his advantage, and not just stop giving that information away, but to use it. Again, peppering with the jab, gets him to counter to those shots, even though he doesn't come out with any counters. Whoops. Expecting the counter here, I think. And shooting the straight left. Great job right there. And again, getting Breidis to go first, catching the shot, and going to the body. Great work from him. A lot of probing. Probe. Steps with it. Boom. And again, using that information that Breidis is going to counter the jab when he steps with it to set up his own shots and land a left hand right there. He kind of eats a body shot a little bit, but I would say that he came out ahead on that one. And when Breidis goes first, makes him pay for it, and finally starting to really make him pay for going first and having that countering style. Missing both of his counters, Breidis making an adjustment using head movement when he punches. Love that. Probe, 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 and then counters the probe to break that rhythm. Whoops. Shoots that jab. Breidis says, okay, I got to attack. Sneaks one kind of behind the guard, hits the glove first so there's no power on it, and then lands a left hook of his own. Interesting. Very interesting. He kind of sees that Breidis is leaning back when he shoots that first probing jab. Man, he's really starting to put it on Breidis now. A lot of pressure, a lot of landed punches. And Breidis doesn't really have an answer. And the biggest problem with this is that Breidis doesn't know how to use real lead hand control, it looks like. He's not feinting, he's not probing a lot, he's not controlling Usyk, and Usyk is able to walk him down and get Breidis to go first. Again, boom, landing the straight left, not using the jab as a punch anymore, but getting him to extend his lead hand, step, and then shoots his straight left hand, boom, off of that same timing that Breidis is looking to counter him on. Really interesting. Yeah, a good adjustment from Usyk, really taking advantage of the fact that Breidis doesn't know how to control the space between him and his opponent. And I was so focused on Usyk that I didn't realize what Breidis wasn't doing. And he really wasn't using his lead hand to control Usyk at all. So Usyk was able to come in and set up his punches really well, simply because Breidis wasn't controlling the space between him, and he was able to get Breidis to go first. Now, this is going to be really interesting because Gassiev does like to go first. Gassiev likes to be the one to go first and likes to be the one that puts the pressure on. And I think that in this fight, we really got to see that Usyk was so much better fighting that way than he was being the one to go first. So we'll have to see how the fight goes. But if Gassiev can get Usyk to be the one to go first and to commit to those jabs, maybe he has an opportunity to counter him. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll do a complete fight analysis on Monday, where I use their clips side by side and talk about who I think is going to win, and then I'll pick a winner. Anyway, let me know what you guys think.